In order to accurately transfer the face from the paper to the wood, I divided the emoji's face into quadrants. Once I'd found the right size for the emoji, I traced the circle. Then I repeated the process of dividing the circle on the wood into quadrants. With both circles now divided into quadrants, I could begin the process of transferring the image from the paper printout to the wood. This method works very well for any shape and helps to maintain the scale, proper location of details, and accuracy of the drawing. Making the teardrops was a matter of first tracing the shape. Then cutting them out. Then transferring them to the thin veneer wood for cutting later. The first bit I'm using is very good at removing a lot of wood, and also very dangerous to use, since each of the titanium spines on the bit are needle sharp. So, safety is super important, which is why I'm wearing a glove. Notice all the bright spots on the glove where it saved an injury to my hand. I work around the edge of the emoji in tighter and tighter circles, working my way toward the middle. It's okay that I'm removing some of the pencil marks now, since I'll redraw those later. The goal with this step is to form the roundness of the emoji's face. Once the emoji's face shaping is complete, I switch to a tapered cutting bit to begin forming the features of the face. The eyes are up first. Then the high arching eyebrows. The mouth is the most difficult feature to make because of the multiple depths involved. I number the teeth, the tongue, and the mouth 1, 2, and 3 to remind myself which is highest and lowest. Since the emoji's lips would be highest, I cut around the outside edge of the mouth first. Then I cut around the teeth. Followed by the tongue. Knowing that the tongue is the second highest, I begin removing enough material to be lower than the teeth, but still higher than the back of the mouth. With the teeth and tongue finished, I switch to this rounded bit to begin removing material from the back of the mouth. A switch to a small rounded bit helps me remove wood in smaller areas without damaging the teeth or the tongue. A challenge to carving a recessed area like the emoji's mouth is making the back part smooth. This flat routing bit is perfect for this job. Touching up the edges is an important job, and this fine diamond burr bit does a great job of making things pretty. Now that the roughing in part is complete, this sanding wheel bit saves a lot of time making everything smooth. I use the circular cutting bit to first cut out the tears from the wood veneer I made earlier. Then I give them their final shaping. Followed by a sanding to make them smooth enough to paint. Because it's hard to get flat tears to stick to a round face, I cut small grooves for the tears to fit into. Before I can paint the emoji, I need to do a good job of making it smooth. Sanding creates a lot of dust, so a brush is important to keep things clean. I'm using two different files for reaching areas that are too small for my fingers and sandpaper to fit into. Sandpaper removes scratches and wood fibers and makes the project smooth. As I move along in the sanding process, I use smaller and smaller grits to make the wood smoother. The perfect shade of yellow. The work I did making the back of the mouth smooth is paying off now as I add the black paint. The eyes and eyebrows were difficult to paint because I had to hold my hand perfectly still. I was sure happy with the shade of red I chose for the emoji's tongue. Lastly, a nice bright shade of white for the teeth, and my chance to finally cover up the yellow oops I made while painting the face. Time for one of my favorite inventions of all time, 5-minute epoxy. In 5 minutes, whatever you want stuck is stuck. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my emoji project video. As always, please hit like and subscribe for updates on future art pieces of mine.